1, 2. What happened? One, two, three, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Come in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. What the fuck happened here? Oh, 1, 2. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, guys. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Hi.
Hey, look at you there, driving.
There we go. Now.
Can you see us?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Yeah, so we're on YouTube today. And
Cool.
we're on YouTube and Facebook and
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, we're hitting the big times.
A friend in Seattle asked me this morning, hey, did your show move to 10 p.m. Sunday night? And I said, no, that's the second Not Your Mother's Radio show.
Yeah, that's the second.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, tomorrow night we're going
Yeah,
to be
because he listens to it, which is great.
Oh, cool. And tomorrow we're actually going to be doing Beatles stuff. Tomorrow night's Beatle night. And
Nice.
we're going to, yeah, in the next week or two, we're going to be interviewing the guys from Supertramp and Badfinger. And
Cool.
yeah, so we're hitting the
Love
big time.
Supertramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so David should
I
be
love
on
Supertramp.
too.
David was there a second ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'm right here, right?
Oh, there he is.
Okay. I'm here.
Good. How come we sound like crap all of a sudden?
I don't know, but you're just showing a bunch of lights.
What?
You're showing a bunch of lights, like green and orange and blue. And
You always see his lights.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me. I'm showing nothing on my end.
not that we don't really see your face, but you know.
Oh, my camera's off.
At least put up an art painting.
Yeah.
Or
Wait. What's wrong with my camera? Huh.
It won't go on?
Yeah, I'll get it on. Don't worry. I'll figure this out.
Let's get it on.
Where you guys
headed? What?
You guys headed?
I don't.
We're in the car.
We're going to Las Cruces. Yeah.
We're nearly to Socorro.
Oh, you getting the doggy?
Yeah. Yeah, we're picking up the 2 doggies today.
Nice.
And we got Shuttler in the back here.
That's got to be exciting, huh?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Okay, Brad. Chastity Belt is coming on now. Chastity.
Oh, good, Mr.
Hello, darling.
Brad.
Let me change my name real quick. Hi, Motto. Hi, Elliot.
Hello. I don't know what's wrong with my camera today. I may have to go to my secondary camera. Let's see. I still have a minute before we go on.
What's the camera?
Hang on.
And there's Socorro.
Okay. So here I am.
Oh, there you
Okay.
are.
Are you there?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, wait.
Oh,
It's not gonna work.
I still don't see you. Hi, Brad.
hello, Motto.
Thought I heard you. Sweetheart, how you doing?
Good. How are you, baby? Hi, Andy.
Good. Hey. Hi. We're on our way to Las Cruces. There you go.
You're on your way to my hometown.
Yep. We are.
Say hi to my dad.
Okay. We're meeting at Apalaca Park.
1, 2.
Oh, I love Apalaca Park.
2.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I sound okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We
Here
can
we
see you,
go.
but we can hear you.
You can't see me. I should be on now.
I can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
I'm still getting
Okay.
the lights.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Push your little button at the bottom.
Yeah. There's not that much to see today. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh, I'm sure you're lovely, Elliot. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to start the show now. So give me a minute. I'm going to turn off your volumes and stuff. Well, actually, it's okay. Nobody hears you now yet. Where's my?
Well, I'll
1,
just
2.
mute.
There we go. Okay. Now you can hear me. Okay, good. And there goes okay, I'm gonna go and we start now.
Juicy. Just how you find cards sometimes. You know, the barn finds that they talk about. Yeah. So we'll be very close to on time, if not on time. It's 2 hours from here. 10:02. We're meeting her at noon, so we'll be right there. That told us why we're all in
Oh, you look good.
Who?
You.
Oh, thank you. And so do
Andy
you,
always
lovely.
looks good.
Yeah, I know, a little bit. You know, I have to work at it like a drag queen.
Yeah.
This takes no work. I just rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to be on our way by 8:30, and I think we left at 9:15.
No, that's like a drag queen. That's drag queen time.
Yeah, exactly. So we changed plans a little bit. We're picking up a piece of Domus House and TRC that we bought back in October. First chance we've had to come back down here. But we, you know, so I called the gallery and said, we're running a little bit late, so we'll pick it up this afternoon instead of now. And he's like, that's fine.
Cool.
So, you know who Domus House is, right, Brad?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cool. David, do you know who Domus is?
Well, what was that?
Domus Howe, do you know him, the artist? That lives
No.
in TRC?
No.
Google his name. DELMASHOWE. You'll like his artwork.
And he's pretty prolific. Hey, Daddy. For the show, make sure you call me.
Okay,
Chastity.
good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, Not Your Mother's Radio, and I'm Eliot, and I'm definitely not your mother. And I'd like to introduce everybody today. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Guys, everybody up? Everybody good? Turn on your mics, everybody.
We can hear you.
So
Hello.
we have
think we're
some special guests today. We have the usual suspects, David, Morrow, Andy, but today Chastity Beltoff is joining us.
Hello,
And,
boys.
Yeah,
and
Chastity.
And before we start, I just want to tell everybody that I'm in love with Chastity Beltoff. And hey, Chast, the first time we met, we were at that bar. Do you remember?
Duel.
Yeah, that's
Duel.
it, Duel.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Cool.
yeah, and they're not there anymore. And
No, we missed them.
yeah, we do miss those guys.
Yeah.
So how was everybody
Miss being able
tonight?
to go out.
Yeah. So
We're good.
so it's it's another Saturday, and we do what we do at Not Your Mother's Radio, and that's just whatever we want to do, right, guys? We don't.
Yep.
There's no script, no scripts, no agendas, and you just kind of roll with the punches. And today, it's going to be a hell of a morning. So
Yeah. It is.
yeah, let's get started. I'm going to get started with Andy and Morrow today because the Rev has a wedding to do this morning. And where you guys headed
Wow.
to?
We are going to Las Cruces today. Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the southern part of the state. Back at Halloween, one of our doggies died, and our other doggie, who's a schnauzer, is partially blind and partially deaf, and she was a thing, a cis dog. So with her gone, he's been pretty lonely, and we've been searching for another schnauzer. We finally found one in Las Cruces, but it comes paired with a Bichon because they've grown up together, and they didn't want to separate them.
Beautiful.
So we're taking in these two new little dogs and going down to Las Cruces to get them. And we're taking advantage of the trip. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bichons are beautiful. I had a Bichon many years ago. They're very, very smart. And, they're very, very, I'll give you a little warning though. They are kind of, they have a rotten attitude.
Okay.
Hey, Motto,
for a while. Yeah.
Motto, I think this coat is made out of Bichon. Just so you know.
Probably my old one.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and the wig looks like it's made out of Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Hey, shush.
So I had a Bichon 40 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and his name was Charlie, and he was when I actually about 40 years ago. When we first got married, we didn't want kids, and we figured it'd be easier to get a dog. So we got this little cute little Bichon. Wait! The story gets better. I go out and I buy. Back in those days, it was a lot of money. I bought a $500 leather sports jacket. Wow. And a $400 pair of boots in Greenwich Village, matched. And anyway, I come home and I just put the jacket down and I take the boots off, and I had to run out again. I come home about an hour later, and my jacket and boots were eaten by this mangy Bichon. Yeah, and he was a cutest little puppy, but he destroyed my outfit in about an hour. And
leather.
So,
hey, that's true.
Yeah. So it's a good thing they are cute because I used to tell my kids all the time if they weren't cute, they'd be in trouble too. So anyway, So that's my Bichon story. He was with us for a long time. He was a great little dog, and but they do get spiteful, so you got to be careful with Bichons. They're too smart for their own good.
Well, we had one that was dumb as a post way back. I had one in Fort Lauderdale, and I had a Maltese, another Maltese. Those are devil dogs. So the little Maltese would come running to me and bark, and make me follow him back, and there would be the Bichon in the trash. And he was just like, he was such a sweet dog, but he was standing there like in the trash. So he did it like 3 times. I'm like, there's something going on here. So I started watching, and I saw the Maltese like, hey, Buddy, because the Bichon's name was Buddy, and the Maltese was Bart. And Bart's like, hey, Buddy, let's go get the trash. Buddy's like, okay. So they go, and Bart was too small to get in the trash. He would stand against the side of the trash can, but he couldn't reach in. Buddy was just tall enough to get his head in like that. So he would start chowing away, and then Bart would come get me and tattle on him. I'm like, you little bastard dog. He was a devil dog.
So you're familiar with Charles?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That one was really
Because-
sweet, though.
Yeah, mine was too. Falling apart here today. Okay,
Comment
so
question 62.
let me introduce everybody to Chastity. Chastity's going to be joining us from whenever she's available. And when she's not available, I think Brad will be on with us. So
Brad
either
will be
Brad
on
or his
whenever
best
Chastity's
friend.
not available.
Yeah, yeah,
Mornings are hard for Chastity because drag queens are nocturnal.
I know.
So this
I
is
know.
what you get in the morning.
Well, whatever it's worth, I think we're planning on going ahead with the wedding show, guys. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting. Yeah. So I'm
That's
gonna get all the
October?
info out. Sorry.
September, I
October, right?
believe.
Yeah,
Oh,
September.
Okay.
Yeah, and Buffalo Thunder.
Yay.
And so we hit the big time. And
And what's the date?
sure, you have to ask me hard questions, don't you? I'll
I
tell
might
you
need to
guys
know
in a
that as
second.
well, Elliot, if so I can put it on my calendar.
Yeah, I'll let everybody know. It's September 18th, I believe.
18.
I'll double check on that date. And
Okay.
yeah, it's been changed so many times that I'm confused.
It's hard to keep
So
track.
yeah. So I'm confused. And let me tell you what's going on here. Tomorrow night we'll be doing a tribute to the Beatles at 8 p.m. Our time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be not cover bands, big bands covering the Beatles. So it should be an interesting night. I have a buddy of mine from New Jersey helping out, and that's
Wait,
tomorrow.
Which exit?
Yeah. He lives in Old Bridge.
Cool.
Yeah, I used to live in Marlboro.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah.
I have cousins at Cherry Hill.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I lived there for about 5-6 years when I was managing when I was at the Middlelands, and
Wow.
yeah. So so from New York I went to Jersey and then I wound up here. So it's been so you could say it's been downhill.
Okay, so you have to hit New Hampshire because then you hit all the news in the country.
I know. So what's after New Mexico? Where do I go from here? Actually,
Gotta be New Hampshire, so you can get all
yeah,
the news.
I know. I got all the news. I know. New Zealand. I was thinking of New Zealand.
Oh, that'd
But
be nice.
yeah.
Well,
I've
New
got,
England, you can go to New England.
I have a lot of friends who are moving to New Zealand and Australia
Yeah.
and Spain. Those seem to be the big places these days.
Spain.
Yeah.
Although I moved to Australia too.
Yeah. Well, Australia takes care of their seniors. You get a pittance every month. They put you in really nice housing, and they take care of you.
There you go, Motto.
Yeah.
Perfect for you.
Oh, Chastity.
It's just a matter of having somebody sponsor you and getting you to getting in there. In fact, Dave, you know about that, right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, Australia's closed their borders completely
Yeah.
with the COVID. And so
Yep.
everything's kind of on hold. They're definitely, they like investment. They like people to come in, limited populations. And
Right.
it's shocking to me that so close to these beautiful ocean areas, just 100 miles or 80 clicks away, it's just like farmland, just country folk. Yeah, it's amazing, and everything's in the city. All the big cities, that's where everything happens.
Right. So, Chest, what are you doing these days?
What am I doing? Oh gosh. Well, I have I'm keeping up with Brad's schedule. He has 6 jobs right now.
Really? Yeah.
But they're all fun. But Chastity is actually working on her me. Oh, wait, that's me. Hi.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm working on a play that Motto and I are going to be in together. We're finishing writing it right now. It's a sequel to our show Sex in the Burke, which is Sex in the City but set in Albuquerque, with me as Carrie Bradshaw, and Motto as my Latin friend Antonio. Motto, by the way, this is the musical, and you do have a song, so
Uh-oh.
we'll work
Uh-oh.
on it. I told them to keep it simple.
Yeah, well, he's frozen after hearing that, it looks like, right?
Don't be afraid, Motto. It's okay.
Yeah. So who's well, he dropped out. Who's doing the music? Who's actually
His name is Garrett Losak. He is a musician here in town. He's also going to be in the show as well, playing Miranda. He's quite brilliant. Him and I have worked together for doing my variety show, the Chastity Variety Show. He's
Sure.
been my right hand. He's been my Paul Schaefer to my David Letterman on
Beautiful.
my variety show. So,
Yeah, because I'm a keyboard player.
oh,
Yeah, I
so
got a
is
whole
he. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a whole slew of keyboards behind the screen.
This is good to know, Elliot. We might be tapping you
Yes.
for some stuff. Sure.
And I have a lot of equipment, a lot of monitors and things like that.
Yeah,
Mixers, monitors.
This performance is going to be at the new Black Cat Cabaret, which is the new gay lesbian resource center that's opening right now. They are they're going to be opened by the same people that own Sidewinder. So if you want more information, you can contact them. I know that.
I spoke to them. I told them I'd be happy to help assist getting the place up and running, and
they definitely need help.
Yeah, if they need music, I have the DJ company and everything. I actually spoke to the boys, and I haven't heard back. So you could remind them that I'm still around.
I will. I mean, right now they're looking at getting finances to open the building. I mean, their 501c3 status is almost being pushed through, so they will be a nonprofit. But so they're still working on getting money to actually like renovate and open the facility.
Sure.
So that's the issue right now.
Okay, and everybody's in that boat now. Money's a tough thing to find these days.
But just look out for Chastity. I will be doing some shows on YouTube, and then of course some live shows when I'm able to. But those will all be on my Facebook page. You guys can find me on Facebook, Chastity Beltoff.
Okay.
So
yeah, keep me posted on that too, because I'll definitely let our local community know on Saturdays. That's my next scope gig.
Did we lose Motto completely? Is it probably because he's driving?
Yeah, he must have hit a dead zone. Yeah, that's good. It's good to know that you're keeping busy out there, and that Brad's keeping busy. So where's Brad working these days?
Well, Brad does the Old Town Ghost tours. He's a tour guide for Old Town Ghost tours.
Oh, does he know what's his name, Jordan? Magician?
No, there's nobody there by that name.
Isn't it Jordan?
There's only 6 tour guides. So I mean, they might have been there before, but yeah, now it's just but it's a lot of fun. So if anyone wants to book a tour, we do them 7 days a week, and quite frequently. And then Brad works for the School of Medicine at UNM. I'm one of the actors there. I help train the med students.
Nice.
I write for the paper here. Chastity writes for the paper. Chastity has an advice column. It's called Sass in the City. You guys are welcome to write in and ask if you need advice. I'm welcome.
That's an alibi. I haven't seen an alibi in months.
Well, the alibi is closed. It's now called The Paper.
Okay.
And you can pick it up everywhere where you picked up your alibi before.
Okay. Now, is it online too? Because
it is online.
Yeah, I don't get out often.
Yeah, find them on Facebook as well. You can follow them. But yeah, it's called The Paper. It's a lot of the people from the alibi, but have started a new paper.
Good. So the alibi was getting a little stuffy.
Well, also I think it was just they were running out of funds, and I think the people that owned it wanted to go in a different direction from the people that were actually doing all the footwork. So now we've got a brand new owner, and it's good. It's a lot of fun.
Beautiful. Good. I have to talk to some people there, because I want to get them involved in the wedding show, Not Your Mother's Bridal Show and things like that.
I will send you information. I will send you who to contact.
Good.
In your messenger.
And if you remember, I found you again on Alibi during the.
You did. You wrote in.
Yeah. Yep. I wrote in there. I was thinking of changing teams and coming out of the closet. No, I'm just fooling.
Elliot, there's a long line right now.
I understand that.
because of
I
quarantine,
know.
people are lonely, people are coupling up, and
I know. I know. Well, I have a 13-year-old granddaughter who thinks that she may be gay. And
okay.
Morrow gave me some information, some groups for her to contact. And
Mhm.
she was afraid to tell me. And I don't
Oh
understand
gosh,
why.
of
But what
anyone.
happened? Yeah, yeah, at me of all people. So she
Yeah.
came out and told me, she was talking to me one afternoon and she said, I'm a vegetarian and 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 I think I'm a lesbian. I said, "Are you kidding? A vegetarian?" You know, it's like,
Well, at least she didn't tell you she was vegan.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know.
She did say vegan, and I said,
Uh,
"What, vegan? Out of all things, you became a vegan?" And then I hooked her up with Morrow's people, and his people are talking to her people now and working it out, I
well, there
guess.
you
So
go. They'll
yeah,
do lunch. They'll be fine.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. So that
no,
didn't bother me as much as the vegan thing.
I mean, I think
So
the thing is also at 13, you don't need to know. You don't need to
right,
know whether
yeah,
you're one way or the other. You just need to be open-minded and
yeah.
explore things and find out what works for you. I mean,
Well, my
you,
daughter, who adopted her, she's an adopted granddaughter. My daughter, took her to all of the, not this year, obviously, but last year to the gay pride parade and the Halloween parades and stuff. So she's not being,
she's not
she's
being sheltered.
she's not being sheltered, and she's not being ostracized or anything like that.
Yeah.
She's been given the key to the city, so to speak. Whatever she decides.
Yeah.
And
When I'm doing my in-live shows again, feel free to bring her because
yes,
because I was doing a drag brunch once a month over at Red Door downtown, and hopefully that will continue once we reopen. Um,
okay,
and that's a lot of fun. It's me and the rest of the cast changes monthly, but
okay,
it's always me and then whoever else I bring in. But
right,
so that's
beautiful.
always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you ever need help, just let me know. If you ever need, backing, music, anything like that, I'm here to
I
help.
do have a DJ that I normally work with, but she sometimes she might be booked, so I might need someone
Yeah,
else to help out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did a lot of work at Duels. I helped them out whenever I could. It's that kind of thing.
I'm so sad that place closed. It was such a beautiful venue, and they were so great to me. I mean, I got to do so much fun stuff over there.
Yeah, you had the trivia thing going.
The trivia, yep, and I
Yeah.
continue that trivia at Thirsty Eye Brewing
Uh-huh.
after Dual closed. So hopefully, Thirsty Eye is open, but of course, they have to do outdoor. So shout out to Thirsty Eye, go support them. They're on Broadway. If you've never been, they're
Oh,
connected to an art gallery, so they've got lots of cool art stuff going on, and their beer is amazing. So
okay.
check them
And
out.
and during this whole COVID thing, it's all outdoors, I guess, right?
Yep. But they have a lovely outdoor patio with
Yeah,
a
heated.
fireplace.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
heating. Yeah, good. Okay. And I'll tell you a funny story. And yeah, I used to go to duels a lot with equipment, and there was this guy who used to, well, let's put it this way: he was a heavy drinker, and he used to drink out front of the place, not indoors. So where I'm
Oh,
going with
gotcha.
this.
Okay.
And you know my wife Laura.
Of course I know Laura. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I used to go down there a lot with her, and one night I go down there with my son-in-law. We were booking the place for my daughter's, I think it was her 30th birthday. We were having a surprise party for her, and I was having it at Duels. So I went down to go over the thing, this information with the owners, and this guy grabs me, the guy who I used to pay to help me, and he says to me, "Where's your wife tonight?" I said, "Oh, I left her home." He says, "Well, you were doing the trivia thing that night,
Oh, uh-huh.
He says, "Don't go in there tonight." He said, "Like all those ladies in there? I don't know if all of them are ladies."
Well, I'm clearly not a lady, but
Uh-huh. Yeah. So
oh, how funny. You're like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm aware. It's okay.
yeah, yeah. So I said to him, "Okay." I said, "That's not what I'm here for, but thanks for the heads up." It was like, "Go home to your wife. Go home. She's a lady." It was that kind of thing. So
And
anyway,
you, You should have said, you don't know that.
I know. I said, yeah. But that's great. I'm glad everybody's keeping busy. And
Yeah, everyone's
Chastity,
good.
you're going to be on with us more Saturdays now, right? You're going to get
Oh, yeah,
into the
definitely.
group.
For sure.
Either you or Brad, and we'd love to have either one of you here. And
Yeah.
David,
Yeah, David, hi.
do you know David?
I do not know David. I mean, well, if I do, it's been a while.
Yeah. David, do you know Chastity?
What's that? Oh, well, you know what? The more I look and listen, yeah, I think I've met you before. Yes.
Uh-huh.
David, did you ever go to the doll shows?
Well, actually, I'm not much of an outgoing person. I
Okay.
I tend to be home, and I love people, and I like to observe, and that's kind of where I am, kind of quiet. So unless I'm telling a story, and then you can't shut me up.
Yeah, unless you say hello or something like that.
We like that.
Exactly.
David's-
I like a
David-
talker.
Yeah, David's my right hand on the show. Usually on Saturday mornings, he kind of helps us guide the show through the rough waters. So, Dave, what's up with you?
Oh, just laying low and kind of recovering. We could do a little politics. I love the politics, and we're just headed into this whole new series of things going on. I mean, my gosh, we boot that guy out, and he goes down to Florida, and now they're going down there. And the alternative.
Florida doesn't want him either.
Yeah, well, you heard about the offices that he opened?
Amazing. And not even listening to what we feel about, and I really respect what's going on. They're moving ahead. They're hopefully just saying to heck with you guys. If you want to fight and do that, go ahead and do it amongst yourselves. We're just going to move ahead. So
yeah, he opened up offices, and he introduces himself, and his title is former president of the United States. So he's not letting it go that easy,
No.
He's not going to.
No.
Yeah, and we got that little controversy in the House. That one QAnon person that standing up and yelling all these ridiculous things and chasing that young man. One thing that's interesting is that whole Parkland shooting, or the high school thing.
Yes. Mhm.
And they're chasing him down the street and kind of chastising him and telling him how can you live with yourself kind of thing. And here, this young man handled that so well. And I heard him later in an interview. He's very calm. He's very collected.
Right.
Went into meditative, transcendental state, basically, and let it all slide away from him. And here's a guy who was actually in that. And to not respect that, it just astounds me that you wouldn't compassion.
Okay, I just want to break in 1 second. All you guys today who are listening on Alexa or listening on your radios and things, I suggest you turn on your computers, get onto Zoom, not Zoom, get onto YouTube or Facebook. And Chastity Beldorf is here with us today, and she's looking as beautiful as ever. And you might be getting an airgasm, but you're not getting an eyegasm, and that's what we need right now.
Oh, please, yeah. I woke up early to put on makeup for you, so please.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, the Factor Max is on, right?
Yes.
I did. You couldn't tell, but I did too. I woke up.
No, David, I could tell you look lovely. You look lovely this morning, David.
Like I always tell everybody, I'm on the screen twice today, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm on the screen twice because I don't know if you guys want to look at my Rock Hudson side or my Shirley Temple side. So both up today.
Back and forth, like they do professional stuff, side and front, side and front.
Well, actually, I have to do it this way because I have one camera that brings in my audio of you two guys and gals, and then the other one is for me to.
And there you blank.
The other one's for me so that you can hear me and all that other fun stuff. So that's why I was on two cameras. I'm off one now so that you're not confused. So anyway, David, you want to start? David tells a cool story every Saturday to kind of
cool.
get us ready, to kind
Please.
to kind of relax us from the week before and get us ready for the week coming, right, Dave?
Yeah.
So, in a few minutes we'll get to that. But what I'd like to do in the meantime is find out what's going on with the community. And Chas, you could help us with that. Any good news out there? Anything happening that we should know about?
Oh, in the community here, let's see. Like I said, that the new community center is
Yeah.
getting open. So everyone, please check that out. Right now, if we're talking about the LGBT community, we only have one gay bar in the entire state that is open at the moment,
Wow.
and that is Sidewinders here in Albuquerque. So they do have a full menu. They have amazing Filipino food, which is great, and a full bar and a heated patio. So please support them right now. That they do need our support because they are our only queer venue that's open in the entire state. So just want to shout out to them for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's just
It's
trying
quiet,
to do the best they can right now.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody's laying low.
Yep. And which is good. I mean, we gotta be safe. We gotta make sure that we're all taking care of each other, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so what sort of the plans when this thing's lifted? I've been talking to some big rock and rollers. Everybody's confused. Who did I talk to the other day? Oh, I spoke to a lot of guys in England, from bands in England, and they're obviously in the same boat we're in. In fact, it was a little worse there for a while, and everybody's scared, shitless. Nobody knows what to do anymore. Did anybody get vaccinated yet?
Not yet, because I'm not in one of the higher.
Yeah.
The.
Yeah. Well, I am. But I haven't been vaccinated. They told me I'm not eligible yet. So I don't know what you have to do.
I put my name on that web page. They're supposed
registered.
Yeah.
And just take care
right now.
But we do know that even after you're vaccinated, you still can pass it around. I mean.
Yeah.
There's also multiple strains. You might be vaccinated against one strain, but you might be able to contract another. So it's still important right now to be safe. And like you said, well, we don't know what's going to happen, especially with live performance venues, with clubs and bars and theaters. We don't know if we're going to be able to when we'll be able to do that. I mean, Broadway's been shut down for over a year. I mean, so that's why I think it's really cool that a lot of us are kind of thinking outside the box and trying to find ways to do kind of live performance, but over. I mean, during real time, but over Zoom or over Facebook or over YouTube. So I mean, I think that's kind of cool. Just kind of like figuring out how we can make things work, and how we, as a creative community, we can come together and still support each other, even though we can't have our live venues right now.
I was going to say one thing on the Broadway. I was watching an article on that, and they've opened up the stores that are closed. Right, there's a whole bunch of them closed. So they've opened up individual actors and artists to perform, and you stand outside and you kind of move down the street and you can see the different acts of a play as you move down the street. I mean, it's very well done. Of course, it's Broadway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, I was thinking right away, I thought, well, we've got our art show downtown Albuquerque where it's similar, where it's like spaced out. I don't see why we couldn't put up the same kind of thing. We could have a play that would be operating in different windows. The people could just cruise down the street very slowly and take in the whole of the play and different acts.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, okay? I'm not a New Mexican by birth, and I'm not a New Mexican by, I got here, I joined the game late, and I'm here, a little over 10 years. But I was involved with the biggest music pavilion here. I was managing the amphitheater out here. That's how I got out here. But I always but I'm trying to get New Mexicans involved in my show and I can't do it. You know, I've been contacting the restaurant people. Do they want to talk about their restaurants? I've been talking to musicians, the musician groups. If anybody has any new music they'd like me to break for them on the radio, I'd be happy to do that. I cannot get anybody involved. What the heck's going on? Why can't you get New Mexicans involved in New Mexico?
I have a suggestion. We're now on Zoom and Facebook, and we're live, and it's
Yeah.
not traditional
If
radio.
anyone is interested in being part, comment or send. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
what we could do is we could set up a little scenario. Like, let's say, for instance, you go down. We just take one of us. We could do it with our phone. You go
Right.
downtown and you film the empty space that's there, and then you put up a little model of how we could change that, and you film it with somebody in there doing something in the front window, maybe doing a mime routine, and then you blank it up. We broadcast that on our radio program through virtual. So
Well,
people realize they can go online.
you know, I contacted the Santa Fe restaurant group yesterday, and I gave them our thing that we're the radio show today, and they threw me off. And I said, but you don't get it. I'll be happy to talk about New Mexican restaurants, Santa Fe restaurants, Albuquerque restaurants. Everybody needs help now, and they just didn't care. They didn't want to be involved, and they just,
we need to keep getting the word out, Eliot. I believe in us. I really do, and I think we're the cutting edge of what's going on. We're as they say, grassroots. We're like the bottom of the growing system here, and we're diverse. And I think we need to kind of do it. I mean, you have to have something to show people.
Well,
So,
if anybody has any ideas or suggestions or know who to talk to, I'm up for it, because again, right now I made, I'll be honest with you guys, I made $60 on the radio, but it cost me 120 to do that. You know, it's that kind of thing. So I'm not in this for the money. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get the show bigger and bigger and bigger and help more and more people. You know, at this point of the game, I was talking to some rock and rollers yesterday. I don't look back anymore. There's nothing behind me that I need anymore. It's all, it's all ahead of us, and let's make it happen. Let's.
like I say, is if you have something to show when you talk to these people, instead of talking, because talk tends to go in and out, and they're all busy with something else. If you had, like Chastity could have a little recording of himself doing his thing, and we could have a recording of before and afters. And when you talk to them, you plug it into a screen and show them exactly what's going on, and really promote that through the restaurant. I think you'd get a Sidewinders, for instance, is very open to help people.
Well, I just got a text from a friend of mine in Connecticut, and she's a DJ too. She does a show before mine on weekends, on Saturday, and does a great Sunday show too. DJ Jazzy Cat, and she's on the TTT Radio Network. She does a great thing. She just said to me she does the same thing. She's willing to do free plugs, and people aren't interested. They're just not interested for some reason.
I don't know. I don't think they know. Our society's moved toward instant moments, a little
Instant
TikTok
gratification. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're not concerned with the long-term look on things, because they get shot down. They're afraid to step up and show their true colors. These are things that are isolationist views, and we need to step out. We need to step out and say, look, here we are. We're diverse. We're here. We're colorful. We love you. We want to be involved with you. We have to just push.
And you know what bothers me? During the week, from Sundays to Friday, I'm talking to heavy hitters. I'm talking to guys who made it in the music business, people who represented Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. The guys from Supertramp are going to be on the radio with me. Badfinger is going to be on the radio with me. These guys get it. These local guys in New Mexico are harder to convince that there's no, I'm not doing it with smoke and mirrors. I'm not hiding anything. Here I am. I'm not asking them for anything, just to get involved, and they won't even get off their butts to get involved.
I know. Well, Elliot, I think a lot of times people have been burned or have been, promised things and then, never. So I think that people are just more cautious, and so I just need.
Yeah.
I think it's just building a rapport with them and just kind of like not giving up, showing them that
Right.
hey, this. I really do mean this. I'm not just dangling carrots, whatever. Because I've been promised lots of things as a
Oh
performer.
yeah, I know your story.
That people have never, they've never, oh yeah, you do know that. We won't talk about that on the air.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah, but so I feel like so people might just be cautious and trepidatious about that. But I think it's not because they're not. It's not because they don't want to advance their career or they don't want to do things. I think they're just cautious about what steps they do take. So I think it's good to keep after it.
Uh-huh.
Be persistent.
The reality is we've had 4 years of being downtrodden and not understanding what's going on and watching things dissolve around us. We're kind of shell shocked. We really are. We're shell shocked. We're on the defensive, and that goes through the whole culture. And what we have to do is start stepping up and saying, look, we have the opportunity now to stand up. We really do. And there are people that will support you. There are people that will be there for you. And you have to understand that they may not stand up themselves, but they're there to support you. And it's not the big time people. It's not the solid corporate view of things, because they're still fighting everything we're going to try to do. Sure. We have to stand up and say, we're not defeated. We're not going to go away. We're here. We're stronger than ever. Right? We're just going to smile our way right through it. And your comments are no longer worth anything. We're just going to do it.
Okay, well, maybe you guys and gals can give me a hand and help me find some people. I kind of feel like the Lone Ranger, but there's nobody who wants the silver bullet, that kind of thing.
I understand, Eliot, with our little Seed to Harvest project,
yes.
So much talk about what we do and how we do it and trying to convince people, and they, yeah, that's cool. Nobody steps up, nobody gets in.
Do you know about the Seed to Harvest program?
I do not. Fill me in.
Dave, here's your chance.
We have a wonderful program. We give to people these, what we call square footers. And first thing that they are is like, you can have herb gardens and, we do outside events in equinox and the summer solstice. We have a community garden connection, and, sounds like a bunch of work, but it's not. We just go have fun. And one of the things that I think, Chastity, you would really like is this. The square footer concept is not how many tomatoes I can grow or who has the best recipe for basil. It's about having a square footer that you can have anywhere in your house, and you can put a statue in it, you can paint it, you can decorate it, you can make it yours, because all the square footers that are gifted are all the same. So your personality goes into the square footer, and then once a month, you check in with us. You say, hey, I've had a tough month, you post it online, or hey, look at the successes I've had, post it online. Somebody can respond to that. And it's really difficult to kind of get it off the ground because, they want to all talk about the plants. And, unfortunately, I have way too much information about plants. And so it's just no talk. And we're not a nursery. We're a community organization that connects people together that are isolated right now. We want to see people, interact with each other back and forth. It's a very difficult progress. But we're succeeding. We've got 200 members now, so we're getting up there. They're all interested. They check in. We're getting check-ins coming in, one step at a time. But I want to see the dance, man. I want to see the square footers on the spring equinox. We put our square footers out. We all unite together and we do a dance out there. We, talk about who we are. We don't talk about tomatoes. I'm tired of tomatoes. Yeah.
We got a bit. I think it's, but I mean, getting something common that people can bond over, like the planting of the of the tomatoes or whatever, but then having that be a discussion starter so that people can kind of break the ice and get to know each other. And yeah, I do like that.
That's exactly right. It breaks the ice, and we're totally into that. Break the ice, you get in, but it's really more than a garden club, and that's where it gets put. And so we're not master gardeners. Everybody makes mistakes. So what you have is people that try this out. They get their little square footer. They're all into it, and they put a little plant in there, and the plant dies, and they won't check in because the silly plant died. Well, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you checking in. That's what we want. Check in.
Okay.
What's going on? What kind of advice can you give us? How can we change that? How about we put a plastic plant in there and paint it up? I mean, it's the checking in part that's so important, that we stay in touch.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, that's what David runs, and that's David's. Yeah, that's David. That's David's passion. And if I could say something, Chastity, I hope you don't take this the wrong way.
Sure.
But I'm getting a vibe from you today, and I kind of feel that you're a hell of a lot stronger and a lot more in control of yourself than you were the last time we were in contact with each other. And I want to give you kudos and props for that, because
thank you. Yeah. I think I think this last year, having the year before that was quite rough for me. You know why, financially, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But then but this year in 2020, I had to think creatively about how I was going to go about making money without selling my soul.
Sure.
So I found ways that I was able to use my creativity and use my art and be able to make a living just doing both of those things. So I found this place of strength. So thank you for saying that. I'm quite happy. I'm more fulfilled now than I was previously.
Good. And we were bulldozed by the same people, and
we were. This is true.
So so I kind of know where you're coming from, and but I just want to let you know that I really, really feel it. I just kind of get a vibe from you that you got your you kind of got your spunk back, and I'm glad to see that.
She's spunky.
Yeah, she is, and kudos, and I really
it feels good.
Good. And I'm glad, because you're always a sweetheart, and but you kind of, the last time we were kind of in the same room together, you had no energy left, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
your soul was sucked out of you, and it's back. And
again, yeah. I think that, but that's a good lesson for all of us to know, is that even when it feels like everything's gone, it's just finding that place within you where you say, what, this is not what I want anymore, and I'm gonna start something different. So I did.
So you did the same thing I did. Don't look back, just look ahead.
Yep. I mean, you could judge yourself. You could be angry with other people for what they did to you, or you could just take those lessons and move forward.
Let it go. Yeah, because like I was saying, we're shell shocked. We've had all this stuff happen around us. We've been marginalized. And Eliot, in the Greenhouse Chatter, we talk about that. The fringe, who we are, is the strongest part of society, not the weakest part.
Yep.
The weak part is that stands up and is always fighting with you. The strongest part of that maintain their own integrity, that step out, and chastity is whose chastity is. I mean, there's her power. That's his power. I hope I'm using pronouns correctly, because I apologize.
I don't care, honey. Whatever pronoun you need to use is fine with me.
There you go.
Yeah, because I'm like a very naive in that. It doesn't matter, because chastity is chastity, Eliot is Eliot, and David is David, and that's all that I care about.
Right.
Yeah. And just so just so everybody knows that I want this to be a safe place for everybody.
Absolutely.
You get your friends involved. You get there's no judging here. There is no my catchphrase is no agendas, no scripts. It's just however it goes, it goes. That's all my shows. I do another one tomorrow night. It's a little more guided to the musicians and to people who are more into music. Monday night, I do an esoteric avant-garde type music show with Bill Laswell, who's a great famous producer. 4,000 albums he's been involved with.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
incredible. Herbie Hancock, the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, the man's worked with everybody. He's turned down the Rolling Stones. He actually told Mick and Keith, they asked him to do their last album, and he said to them, I'm going to have to say no because I don't want to be bored for another year. That's what this man told the Rolling Stones. Yeah, so, the guy's legit. So we do a show together on Monday nights. He's kind of like my sponsor. And so this Monday night, I forgot who I'm talking to. Oh, yeah. A guy named Christo Rondevesky, who's a great, great musician. Christo is going to be on with me Monday night. And try to tune in. It's 8 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Christo's an older gentleman, and he did this beautiful album, incredible stuff. So, it's that kind of a show. It's more of a off the rails type music show. And the name of that show is called Destroy All Rational Thought Radio. So you kind of know where we're going with it. But it's a beautiful show.
Can we tune in from your Facebook page?
You can go to tttradionetwork.com.
Okay.
I'll send everybody the link. I'll send the link there. You get it on. If you go to Alexa, if you have an Alexa, just say, Alexa, TTT Radio Network, and it'll turn you on to it. Tomorrow night, we're doing a whole cover thing, Beatles music, because everybody loves the Beatles. I just figured it's a good time to,
Who doesn't love the Beatles?
Yeah, so just a good time. It's going to be a cover thing, not the Beatles doing their music, other people doing their music, and
I'm going to say something here. What I love about Eliot is that he brings people into this mix that were with the Beatles. I mean, he has personal stories of these people that were to me, they're just icons. But yet here's a guy behind the scenes that I never heard of, who is actually talking to John Lennon or talking to these guys, seeing them when they're in their 20s, knowing about the music, seeing how they're promoted, getting involved with all these famous people, and they're forgotten. And I don't think we should forget them. We need to bring them into the fold because
that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get these guys to realize that they're not, that they're still relevant.
Absolutely.
Even though they did something 50 years ago, I just hooked up, Bill Laswell, some of his crew were in their 20s and 30s with guys who are in their 70s and 80s, and they're doing music together. And that's what I do it for, because these older cats, and they gave up their lives for music. They really did. A lot of them are really struggling now because they too got hurt by management, by record companies, right. And so a lot of these guys are living in their kids' basements now, and it's a shame. I have a friend. He was actually working with Peter Gabriel, and he came from a big prog band in England in the day, and he was working with Peter Gabriel, and Peter said to him, "I'd like you to go on tour with me," and the guy said to him, "I can't, Peter. I'm real busy." And he lied to him because he was driving a truck to feed his family.
Oh.
And this guy came from a huge prog band. I'm going to be playing his podcast. He told the story live, and so it's not a secret. But it kind of. So I have him now working with 20, 30-year-old guys playing, playing horns. He's in the UK. These guys are in California and Maine, and they're together through the internet, sending each other music and putting something together. And so anyway, yeah.
So so really what it does, it pulls us out of our closed systems. He
actually he thanked me, and he said to me,
UK, you can be appreciated by a wide audience that is receptive. I mean, they're out there. Everybody's out there, and they're all searching for the same thing. I think they're
Yeah.
tired of the misinformation and the real people that aren't real. And
Do you guys remember the Mothers of Invention?
the what?
Frank Zappa's band, the Mothers of Invention.
Oh, yes.
Of course,
Yeah, well, I'm very friendly with the original Mothers. I'm friendly with all the new Zappa guys too. When I say new, these guys are in their 60s, 70s, but the older guys are in their 80s, late 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
And,
there you go.
yeah. Anyway, I spoke to Bunk Gardner, who was Frank's original sax player. He had to become a cook for a while, when he got, when Frank got rid of, when Frank got rid of the band, he left these guys high and dry. Do what you got to do to survive. I'm done with you. And you go to the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Frank Zappa may get a Hall of Fame thing, but the Mothers never got it. Tom Petty may get it, but the Heartbreakers didn't get it. Bruce Springsteen got it, but the E Street Band didn't. That kind of thing.
Gone. So
yeah.
we need
So
that.
yeah, and that's the guys. That's the guys I'm trying to keep in the loop with me, and
What is there? What can we leave behind us when we're gone? We're just gone. We're like wisp of smoke. But
Yes.
actually, the art that we produce as human beings is what carries through the centuries. I mean, that's the only message we can ever show people, is that they don't start interviewing mundane people at the bus stop. They don't look at those recordings to tell about the time. They look at
Right.
people that are famous, that do artwork. And the people that support them are left in the shadows.
Well, you know what? But you see, there was other things we could leave behind. David, my grandkids are living with me,
Yeah.
and I spoke to them just the other night, and I said to them, what do you remember? What are you going to remember about me? That kind of thing. And the little one said that you were crazy, which is great. That's and the older ones, it was that kind of thing, that we had fun, that kind, and that's what I want them to remember. So there is other things, that's what you leave behind, and you want, and to be honest with you, when my kids were young, I wasn't around a lot. I was working, I was, involved in making a living, that kind of thing. But my grandkids have me 24/7, and it's a whole different ballgame. So, there are other things that you leave behind, which is great. David, it's about time for you to tell a story.
You want a story? Oh, I love
Yes,
this story.
please.
Yes. Well, as we know, we have those little rules, like I'm going to say, this is my story, and I'm just going to talk. And basically what you do is listen for a minute, and then I say, that is my story, and then we just talk about it. But so I'm going to say real quickly, this is my story. We all know about the little prairie dog, this little prairie dog who learned how to sing to the sun, how to stand up every morning and quietly sing to the sun. It brought the sun up, and everybody woke up and everybody did their thing. Well, he's now a grandfather because he's an old guy, and he's been teaching this all along his whole life, quietly working on people. The last time we talked about him, he was telling his students and the people around him to get out in the world, to start telling people about singing to the sun, and how we need to attach ourselves to our heart, and how we need to understand who we are. It's not your size and stature, it's what you have inside of yourself. It's how the elder speaks to you. And these students were amazed at his knowledge and his wisdom, and they started to spread out a little bit. Well, they found out some shocking thing. First of all, they were very isolated in a way, because they believed in people. They believed in the prairie dogs around them. They believed in the hunter that came back with the berries. They believed in the person who sang to the sun. They believed in their mother and father and how they could help them out. They believed in their siblings and the people around them. And they were very, very shocked when they began to spread out amongst the prairie dog villages and just talk about who we are and how we are. They had dances. They had little festivals. They had all these things that brought people around them, and they were teaching them how to recognize your own heart, how to be with yourself. Well, these little prairie dogs, they were having some difficulty because there were people hanging out on the edges. And these people were tough, and they were all into a different philosophy. They believed that you can't just sit and sing to the sun. The sun is going to destroy you. You need to build the shade from the sun. Not only that, but they believed that you needed to be physically able to accomplish anything. So they were doing twists and turns, and they were out in the field showing everybody how to jump and how to run and how to do all the things to keep them away from any danger. Well, the little prairie dogs that were preaching, they were talking, they believe this. Yes, you need to be physically active, but your mind needs to be controlled. You need to let your heart flow through what you're saying. So they kept going to talking about helping the helpless, sharing your love and abundance, pay attention to others, be quiet when you need to be quiet, listen and adapt, because the most important thing is that you change who you are as the circumstances evolve around you. These little prairie dogs were really smart, but boy, this group would not listen. They were out there, they believed in loud boasting, and that if I'm the one who's talking, you're the one that's going to listen. They didn't take any time to listen to other people around them. And they were basically isolating themselves from the natural order of prairie dog survival. So what happened was the little prairie dog went back to grandfather and said, we don't know what to do because we talk about helping people and they turn their backs on us. And he said, the only thing you can do is remain true to yourself, true to what you believe, and quietly establish your strength through the fact that your beliefs are strong and the people around you will support you. And that is my story. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So we're talking about, as you know, Eliot, I talk about current events in these little stories. And
Sure.
I'm setting up a little teaching YouTube kind of thing where there's going to be a series of how you can tell your own story. And of course, I'm a nature guy. I'm an outside person. I observe nature. I watch how systems work. It's part of my education, my training, my life. For 60, I'm 70 years old next month. Well, 60 of those years, I've been critically examining my world, the natural world, and watching it evolve. And I find human beings to be fairly complex and confusing. So I kind of stick to the trees, they're not confusing at all. So there's going to be a little teaching model that we can all do that. And
Right.
the most important is to listen to yourself, but listen to other people and know that they've got something to say, not if they yell at you or if they stand in front of you or if they confront you, because literally they're confronting themselves. They're literally yelling it for their own benefit. They're not really listening to what you need and what you want. And I think that's where we currently are in our society. There's a loud voices that broadcast over the softer, quieter, more moderate voices. They broadcast it out there. And, it just doesn't make any sense. It's very confusing. So
Yes.
there you go.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Hey, my
And, Chastity,
Yes, babe.
so maybe next week you'll take the day off and send Bradley in.
Sure thing.
And Dave, let's all talk. Let's all get together during the week. David is setting up a Zoom meeting, and for one night during the week, we're going to talk about doing some outside projects. And Chas, we'd love to have you and Brad involved. And
Definitely.
I agree.
And David, Brad just sent you a friend request on Facebook.
He has a what? I'm sorry.
Brad sent you a friend request on Facebook.
Oh, he's friends with me on Facebook.
Well, no, he just sent a request.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So I sent you one, so just accept it.
Oh, you got it. You got it, Chastity. I communicate with Messenger very well. And
He does.
That's the face. I don't have a wall of, I occasionally review it, but I go by individual people. That's how we develop our stuff. And we can Zoom together, we can do. I would love to meet with you and discuss these ideas because all of us will benefit.
Sure thing. Yeah. So Eliot, David, just let me know when you're available. I'll pass that on to Brad.
Yes,
for during the week. And we'll,
Yeah.
Yes, my dear.
I'll send you my email so I can attach things to the email. And by the
perfect.
way, you have to meet the email guy. Hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. If you
Dave,
can
yep.
see that guy right there.
No. Dave's really good on the interweb.
On the interwebs.
Oh yeah, there's your dog floating in space.
There you go. Oh,
That is
There you
Shane.
go.
He's my service husky. So
okay.
he's with me 24/7. He goes to doctors, he goes to restaurants, he goes to trains, he goes to planes. He knows when it says all aboard, we all head to the door and get on the train. He knows all about that stuff. And
Beautiful.
he's really a cool guy. So basically, when I say us, that's who I'm talking about. And
There you go.
part of everything that we do. So
Good.
Perfect.
Okay, my friends, I'll see you two next week with Morrow. Morrow is, he sent me a text that he's in dead man zone. There's no coverage where he is.
That's what we figured. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem.
So I love you guys and gals, and I'll see you next week, right?
Sounds good.
well, Chastity, it was a pleasure today. I so enjoyed. Yeah, I'll give you one of those too.
And
Yes,
Bradley
please.
and
It was a
Bradley
great
is just as sweet as Chastity, and he'll be here with us next week.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right,
Well,
boys.
Okay, my
have a great
friends.
day.
You two have a good week, guys, and we'll talk during the week.
Okay. Take care, man.
Okay, bye, guys. Okay, so Not Your Mother's Radio, and that was David Wiley and Chastity Beltoff, and I hope you guys dug it. Tomorrow night we're doing a salute to the Beatles. It's kind of like the Beatles under the covers, and what I'd like to do is play a medley, a Beatle medley. It's called From Us to You, and I think you'll enjoy it. And when we get back, there's some other things we'll be talking about, and we'll be back in a bit.